Here it is, November 2nd, and we're getting really close to the end of the season. So I want to do one probably last update here. Last year the season went until about the 15th of November before we had our first frost, but looks like the next few days here coming up are going to get down into the 28, 29, 30 degree Fahrenheit area before they bounce back up next week. So I'm either going to have to try to tarp and save these or just lose them to the weather, because I can't save them all in an overwintering effort that I'm going to do this year anyway. I don't have the space or the lights to do that, so we'll kind of see what happens here, but maybe I'll just throw a tarp over it and see what happens. So here's the little orange habanero that produced a few despite its height and size. I got a few nice orange habaneros out of that one that supplemented the overall 65 to 70 I got between this one and the full-size bush I featured in my last up-close video. I got some Swiss chard that we've kind of not picked at all here recently, so that's just kind of grown like weeds. Here's the Brazilian starfish, which between the upside down Brazilian starfish as well as one other plant, this one has been a massive producer and has just kind of grown like a weed once I stuck it in the garden here. Just a really big, thick, woody trunk to it, at least the size of a quarter or more, with a bunch of significantly sized stems coming out of the side of that main trunk as well. And between the three, again, this one contributing most of them, I've got about 450 of peppers from this. So, and I just picked probably about 50 yesterday. And as you can see here, just in this area right there, there's probably another 10 to 20, and then each branch just has more and more of them. So I've been reluctant to trim this back at all, just because there really aren't any bare sections to take out. And so I'll just kind of let it do its thing and try to pick as many as I can here in the coming days and hope a few more of them ripen up. But this thing has been certainly a monster in the garden. Right here we've got a Jigsaw, which has kind of struggled the whole season. I grew this from seeds I took from Jigsaw peppers that I grew last year, and they were kind of slow to start and then kind of slow all around. And then just in the past couple weeks here, these have started to turn orange and now red. I picked a couple yesterday that were red, and it looks like there's a couple more right there that are just about ready to go, and I'll have to pick all these in the next day or so anyway, just because of the frost coming. These are really hot peppers. I think about 1.8 million on the Scoville scale, if I remember correctly. Maybe a little bit less, but either way, approaching the 2 million or so Scoville heat unit of a Carolina Reaper. So significantly hotter than most peppers, and probably less known, but they kind of look like ghost peppers to a certain extent, just kind of long, relatively thin, kind of bumpy and folded, just really cool peppers. So I just wish this one had produced a little bit more, but at least it's producing now. And I've just got a hodgepodge of tomatoes, a lot of orange cluster tomatoes, which are cranking out their last few here for the season. They've kind of been winding down since a few weeks ago, but we've gotten I think it was close to 1,500 or so tomatoes overall, most of which were the small cluster tomatoes. And you can see there's still a few larger ones there in the background, red and green, that are going to be turning here, but either way I'm going to have to pick those as well. Here's my Scorpion plant, and it does not look like there's any here. This was also slow to grow and slow to produce, and didn't produce all that many, unfortunately, because it was kind of a cool name, if nothing else. Mixed between the Ghost and the Scorpion peppers. Here we've got the Butch T Scorpion. There's plenty of green ones still left, with a few smaller than golf ball size peppers that are ready to be picked. So I will grab those before they get frosted over. Other than that, that one's kind of been a cool plant, and made a couple of nice hot sauces from that one with some yellow peppers. Here is my one white ghost pepper, and you can see there's a few up there. Those are about as white as they get, more or less, but this one's kind of wound down the past couple of weeks as well. I did pick quite a few from this one in a couple different rounds, maybe 10 or 20 at a time. And then I don't know, I think this one's not looking that great, but it's still producing plenty of flowers and little buds in there, if you can see. So it's still moving along. It just doesn't look all that great, and I haven't really been taking care of the peppers out here as much as I had been earlier in the season. And then the last one over here is Death Spiral. So kind of looks the same. It's been slow to grow as well. It only produced maybe a handful of peppers this whole season, so not much to look at there. It does have a few little buds, flowers coming out sporadically here and there, but again, not the best producer. Does produce small, about golf ball size red peppers that are pretty hot. I think around 1 million Scoville or so, similar to a ghost pepper. So not the hottest, but certainly not the mildest either. So anyway, there's our recap. And as far as a total count goes, between everything in the garden and then up on the sides that I've showed in some of the other videos, my total count as of yesterday with peppers was about 1,900. So we're approaching that 2,500 pepper goal that I had at the beginning of the season, and I think we'll get close, at least closer, once I pick these last ones off here. But I'm not too confident at this point, especially with frost going to hit us here soon, that we're going to get to that 2,500 mark. But either way, even if we do get into the 2,000 to 2,500 range, that'll still be more than double of what I did last year. So either way, I'll count it as a success. And there's our potentially last garden update for the year. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll get these posted here along with some other videos.